Who killed Chattrice Maihi Carroll? The Napier grandmother was stabbed to death in her home 6.5 years ago, but her killer has never been caught. The media at the time described it as a classic suburban whodunit.
And now Zion King, the man falsely accused of murdering Chattrice, wants police to reinvestigate the case.
There's a murder in the community, a cold-blooded murder in the community. What I want from the police is I want them to go and do their job. I want a full apology.
Zion King often walks alone on this Napier beach, a hermit hiding from the shame he's carried since being charged with murder 6.5 years ago.
I'm not the person responsible for what happened with my neighbour back in 2008.
Grandmother Chattrice Maihi Carroll lived next door to Zion when she was violently killed. Police had a few suspects. Zion was one of them. He was on early release for armed robbery, but insists he was living a good life before police set about proving he killed Chattrice. Did you kill Chattrice?
I did not kill Chattrice.
Within 2 months of Chattrice's murder, Zion was charged and sent to Auckland prison to await his trial, a jail with a hard reputation he didn't want to live in.
Because I was charged for this homicide, so they just says, well, I'm on maximum security now. So Zion, pick your gears up, you're off to Paramaribo. I didn't want to go there. I said, no, I don't want to go there. No way.
He spent 16 months in prison before his lawyers could bail him out, but on the first day of his trial, a shock admission from prosecutors. They had no evidence to convict Zion. He was set free.
It's a very important day. Justice has triumphed.
But the stigma of the charge still lingers.
I lost everything. I lost my vehicle, lost my dog, lost my house, lost my children, my family, lost my life, actually. Yeah, lost everything.
I feel sad for everyone that went through this. Her family, our family.
Puawai is the youngest of Zion's 7 children and was working with her dad when Chattrice was killed.
It was scary. It was traumatising.
She was 16 years old when police questioned her 3 times without an adult present.
I had no idea they were even trying to place anything against my dad. I was just telling them what we did on a daily basis because that's all they were asking me.
The Crown used her against me, my own daughter, saying, my daughter has said all these things about you.
I don't know that they were looking for flaws to use against him.
They're both angry about what police did, and they admit it caused tension between them.
Instead of the police picking on my dad, they should be out there finding who really done it. Instead of leaving it as a cold case, they need to keep working on it. It's not fair. It's not fair to her family.
A lot of people think that I did it.
Chattrice's neighbour, Eddie Nathan, and his son Michael were also police suspects. Eddie still lives next door to the house where Chattrice was killed.
Yeah, me and my son were under suspicion. They kept on me every week. I was getting sick of it. I said, if you're going to frame me, you might as well go and chuck me inside now.
He says people doubt him because his DNA was found in Chattrice's flat and they were friendly neighbours. Police accepted his explanation for the DNA, but because the case remains unsolved, Eddie feels he will always be under suspicion by the community.
The trouble is we don't know who killed Chattrice.
People think you killed Chattrice?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people do think I killed Chattrice.
Did you kill Chattrice?
No. I haven't got the guts to do it.
We made repeated requests for information and an interview with Napier Police. They initially agreed to an interview, but sent us a short statement instead. The case remains open, and if any further information comes to hand, we will gladly investigate it.
I don't know what new public information really means other than just a fancy set of words to say they're doing nothing.
Russell Fairbrother says police have to reinvestigate the murder to stop the suspicion continually falling on Zion and others in the community.
I think if they started again with a fresh approach, they might find the offender.
He joined Zion's legal team before the trial, led by retired high-profile QC Peter Williams and his partner lawyer Henny Phillips. They had proof the Crown had no DNA evidence against Zion and police witnesses were wrong.
The night before the trial, we still didn't have a lot of answers. We had a theory which we had good evidence to support, but when the phone call came through from the police, that was a total shock.
Do you think the police stuffed up this case?
Well, clearly they stuffed up the case because they arrested someone who they now accept was innocent.
Russell says Zion is paying for mistakes police made during their investigation. They still haven't identified DNA on a wine glass at the murder scene Russell believes could be the killers.
From time to time, the police make real mistakes. However, admitting to the mistake is not something the police seem to be in a habit of doing. And I think a lot of face-saving goes on.
We raised those criticisms with police. In an email response, police admitted the investigation had been peer-reviewed and they don't want to relitigate the case in the media. 2 years ago, Zion's lawyers lobbied this list of government ministers and local MPs for help to get compensation for Zion. No one responded to his pleas for help.
The difficulty Zion has is that because he was not acquitted in a jury trial, or because he wasn't found not guilty after time in prison following conviction, there is no established course of compensation.
Desperate for answers, Zion walked into the Napier police station at the end of last year and met with senior officers to talk about the case.
He was saying to me, well, how much money do you want? I said, it's not the money, I want an apology. You know, I want a full apology. I want you to, you know, be accountable for, you know, for your actions and arresting for something I never did. And he goes, well, only you know that. And I said, no, you know that too.
Police told him to get legal advice.
I think Zion deserves an apology. He's unlikely to get it. I think he deserves compensation because he spent time in jail when he shouldn't have spent time in jail. He carries the stigma of people still thinking he did it. And I think compensation would be appropriate.
The reluctance by police to apologise or offer compensation to Zion has forced him to start a civil case against police, expected to be filed in the High Court later this year.
You can bet your life the police will oppose it. They'll apply to strike the proceedings out. It will no doubt go to the Court of Appeal to review the judge's decision either way on that. And because it is breaking new ground, it will be a long, slow and expensive process.
As Zion once again prepares for his next courtroom battle, he's pleading with police to reinvestigate the case and find Chattrice's killer.
The case is open. Why is it taking so long to re-look at it?
What would you like to say to Chattrice's whanau?
I just want to let you know that I'm not the person responsible for what's happened to your sister, your auntie, your grandmother. I'm not the person, and I want to work with you because the police have just really misinformed you about a whole lot of information. And if you had all that disclosure I had, you would see exactly where I'm coming from. Just want to get my name cleared, no matter how long it takes me.
E te iwi I tuku tono mātou ki te whānau o Chattrice, kia ui tia rātou mo tēnei take. Engari hei tā rātou he hokinga mahara, he hokinga mamai. Me te kore o rātou e hia ki te whakārākea no I taua mamai rā. Ko te tūmanako ia kia kitea e ngā prihimana te kai kōhuru, kua roa rawa nei e haere hāmene kore ana.